it's a learning. I learned so many things I couldn't do before. If it's success. If it's not, go next to the next idea. And I built around 8 or 9, and there was only one success. Now it has 160,000 users.
Hey, I'm Ali Rastian. Here I talk to designers who build real products and brought their ideas to life. In this episode, I'm talking to Mo. He's a product design lead at Photo, previously at Amazon and N26. Although he's a designer, he has built many products. In this conversation, we dig into one of them called skillstogether.app. It's a web product that helps design teams share and improve their AI skills in one place instead of losing them across different tools. He also talks about how he picks his stack and how he keeps costs low. Mo doesn't oversell anything, and that's exactly why this conversation is worth your time. Enjoy! Hi Mo! Really glad to have you here with me today.
Hi, Ali. Happy to be here for sure.
Thanks. We met in 2024 back in SoundCloud in Berlin. I was hosting an event, and Mo was a speaker who was teaching actually designers how to prompt AI to get good results out of it. Now you have your own product. You're actually building products. You didn't become a builder. You didn't start building products just because of AI. You actually were also busy doing it before too, but now it seems like you're creating tools. I saw your latest product that you have created. It's actually a solution that would help teams or individuals to work with AI in a more efficient way.
Yeah, I mean, it's a long story. I started my career as a designer, but I would say mid of my career, I always had this challenge with developers. Whenever I want to do something, they always say, oh, and this will take time. No, and we are designers, we're creative, we want to do more. And it's satisfying when you do something as a designer and you see it to production. That was, how I started. I have to learn how to talk to developer. I have to learn how they build stuff. So at least, I can challenge them. I can also do things by myself. I can do things to make their life easier by, if I develop more, like starting with like simple HTML, CSS, small animation with CSS. That's how I started building. For sure, that was before the AI for sure, but the more I use it more, the more I got, same like the evolution you see in AI. Like designers started, but then they want more. It was also for me in the coding before. It's like I started with HTML, CSS, and then I want more. And then I start to actually understand more like how things work, how the backend, front end communicate with each other. Again, I never worked as a developer. I was always a designer. It helped me a lot in my career as well to understand the knowledge. And now with AI, just for sure, way much faster. So if before AI, if I want to build some idea, take 3 months to 1 year. Now it's like every month you can build a new idea. So that's why it's really like AI now is really good, especially for designers because we are creative, and that give us like a really superpower, as I said before.
Could you share a little bit about how you're actually using AI as an individual and also as a person who's working full-time for a company?
I always think about AI, it should be like a coworker. Even when you work in a company with your team, you should always think how to use AI as a coworker. Think about it as another individual working with you and helping you, not only you, but your team. Always think about your team because you're not working alone in a company. So you need to really change your thinking how you use the AI to work with you and your team, not only helping you to write an article or something, because yes, you could do that in individual level, but you need to think about how this helped me and my team. Then you will think about then you see the value of AI. At like how I use it personally, for sure, like I use it like everyone else, like how to also research about AI, how to ideate, how to asking question, even rewriting stuff. Like if I want to make it even more clear, sometimes it helped me to rewrite stuff. However, also I use it to build in my personal project. So from time to time, I try always to create personal project because it's really like even if you work in a company, you are a bit limited of the risk and everything. But when you try to build your own personal thing, I would say you're free risk. You can do whatever idea you want. So you can try. And I use this as a learning. So I learn by doing actually, and that's why I use it more to help me to build my personal project or personal ideas.
Let's talk about the product that you have built. Just let's pick one of them since you built multiple. Skillshare, right? It's called Skill Together.
Skills together,
Yeah,
yes.
skill together. Yeah, so that one actually is solving a problem, right? It's not just an experiment. How many experiments did you do before then you got to this point? Or when was the time that you thought that actually we need to solve this problem? Let me build it myself.
So I don't know if everyone knows about skills in AI. So skills, like think about it as an MD file. You define your rules, you define your, how things work. You actually dump all your experience on the MD file. And yes, you can use the skills personally. You can put it in your own project. You can put it in your own setup with Claude or anything. But when you think about the team, it's not like we work together. This is how we start the idea. We work together and how to make sure the skills adapt with all the team. Not only one person have it and then the other person have it. It should adapt always with the team because it's not only my experience. So again, when we use Figma and we share the experience, like design weekly or design critique or whatever. We listen from everyone. We see everyone how work and then we adopt. Not like it's only me and adopting and then everyone. And the idea is like also this help us in consistency and to make sure it's much simpler. That's why I came up with skills together. It's like think about it as a platform where you can put all the skills in one place and also secure. What I mean secure because there is a skills.sh, there is multiple websites, but because it's open source and you get all the skills from different I don't know people, and it's meant to have prompt injection, especially when you work in a company. You need to make sure you don't use any skills from outside. You need to go through some security to make sure there is nothing inside. And the idea is like think about it again. When I said before, think about how to use AI from the team perspective. The skill we use, it always whenever everyone, like as I said, I didn't say that before, but most of our team now in my company, in the company I'm working with, like they are using AI. They're using mostly cursor when we design. I would say we rarely use Figma at the moment. So we use a scale a lot to scale. Think about the scales we use it as our design system, kind of. It's not really our design system, but kind of our design system.
To make it more clear, what kind of skills, for example, you're referring to? Why so we know the definition of okay, a skill is like an MD file that's with some description about the rules and so on. But what kind of skill are you referring to? Why should a team need skills? You said that for design critique, but then what else?
It's not only design creative. I mean, there's mainly like 3 or 4 categories, but you can use for everything, not only, but for design system. So for example, there is a skill called UI UX Pro. They can use this one and you can teach it to your own design system. And the good thing, whenever everyone in the team use it, it automatically use our design, make sure we are using our design system. There's nothing that goes wrong. So
Basically, this very detailed description of how your let's say company's design system look like or should look like.
exactly, but also connected with a full story. Or
Mm-hmm.
sorry, storybook, not full
Yes,
stories.
go to your book.
Yeah, storybook. So it's actually really good that, to make sure validate how we use a design system. So whenever a designer prompt anything, it immediately follow that. For sure, we didn't take it as it is. We also built our own way inside to make it even adaptive to our company. This is a category like design system. Design system also we have also our guiding principles. So for example, we scale for like how trust should look like, how like I would say how the user behavior in some pages will look like. All this we have it skills. So whenever any designer work, it automatically the skills inject in the prompt and then make sure that it follow the same process. We also have a skills for research. We have a skill for copywriting. What else? We're building a skill also for how to create, how to review the BRD, which help us a lot because now if a BRD doesn't fit our design need, then it automatically, tell us like how to improve the BRD or what question we should ask the PM to improve the. We have around, I think, in our system, we have more than 15 skills.
So you had the skills before, but then the management was difficult, right?
Yes, how to keep skills updated, how to contribute. So, for example, if a designer was working on some like UI or anything, and then they prompt, and then they decided, you know what, I want to do something different. The skills automatically take this update and share it to the Skills Together platform. And then, let's say every week, every month, we see all these reviews, and then we ask the AI to merge the reviews so we can vote which one we want, which one we don't want. And then AI at the end, we merge all this into the skill, and everyone get the updated skill at the same time. So it's learning with us. So if one designer, let's say, want to create a new component, it's not there, it's automatically shared with a skill. But then we have to all vote for it if we all use it. Same like the same way we used to work before design system. Some designer create a new component and then design critique or whatever, design weekly, and then ask everyone, do we need this in design system or not? We all vote for it. This is automatic. It's like self-improving.
Mo, could you please share your screen and show us your product?
Sure. As you see in my screen now, the product called skillstogether, and the domain is like skillstogether.app. The tool is not only for designers, for sure, for everyone, but I mean, mainly I focus on it for designers. So you can take this command and then run it in your terminal. But if you don't want, you can get started, create an account, and then create the organization. So for example, call this organization test, wherever. And then if you continue, so another thing, wording is important in any product. So we can also talk about that in general, but how to make the onboarding simple. So for example, here, if a new designer started or a new person started, they don't know what skills or what skills should, like when you open skills.sh, there's thousand million of skills, but you don't know which
Yeah.
to start. So the idea here, you focus on your goal or your what your work. So for example, if I say here I'm a designer, UX, maybe a motion designer, maybe a front end developer, and then if you go next, then it will automatically suggest the top best skills related to that. So you can select them. Like say I want I don't know,
Uh,
copywriting.
Let me stop you here. Are these fetched from a skill, the website, or is it like you have some already here in your
Like
platform?
multiple platforms. So some from GitHub directly, some from skills.sh, some from my product. So it's from
Okay.
everywhere. And yeah, so if I select, for example, those two, and then I continue here, if I want to invite my team, if I work with a team, you can also add. And then at the end, you just say, how did you know, whatever. And then once you create it, you started with like skills already in the system, and all you need to do is just open your project, like whatever project you're using, and just run this in terminal. So open the project, then run this. So it will make sure you add same like skills.sh or any same like interface in the terminal. It will ask you which LLM you're using, Claude, Cursor, whatever, and then you will add the skill to your project. One of the most important thing I see here unique compared to others, where you have the interface. Like for example, if I go inside the skill, I have this interface. First, you can see the estimation when you use this skill, which help also on the company. If I should enable it always, like every run this skill will run, it will cost me how much. That's for sure an average, not like if you use Opus 4.7 new now, probably will more. But again, that's the average, which can be also really helpful information. Another thing is like the editor view, which is this view, which acts like an MD editor because again, when we work as designers, maybe we don't know how to deal with code or how to open the MD in some terminal or whatever. So you can also, as a team, if you invite a team, you can edit here directly. Uh, and then for sure, like the files, also it's a version, it has a version control. So every update you can also see and then you can revert back. But one of the most important thing, as I said before, the um, self-improving. So every time, as I said, like someone used the skill, it automatically report here. You can also switch it off if you don't want. Like if there's one skill you don't want any report, like the copywriting, for example, we don't want to improve it. It's good. We don't want to touch it. You can switch it off. If you want, then every time someone uses it, you will get reports in the reports section here. And then each report will have like voting, and you can vote for it. And then at the end of the week or something, the AI will merge it to the skills if the admin approve it. Um, Another good thing, like if you go to other tool, like other website like Skills, SH or everything, you cannot install all the skills you want with one, uh, like one.
Yeah.
You have to do it one by one. So the good thing here is just you add all your skill in one place and then share this with everyone in a team, and then they install everything at one time, which save a lot of time actually. And then you have also the overview, which is your dashboard, which how many skills, how the skills used, who uses skills, what's the most person uses the skill, so you can also track who's using it, which agent. So for example, if your team, because we are using Cursor mainly, but we also have a Claude, do we use it more with a Claude? Do we use more with Cursor? Whatever. It's more like analysis, so it helps you to also overview the usage.
So do your team members need to register or sign up in Skill Together, or is it just you as the admin, you will create this and then they would, when they're using the skills, then you would get the update and then you will merge it. How does it work?
Actually, yes. As I said before, the idea of skills together is like to make it more private. So yes, for the company, if you use it with your team, you can also add them. So in the member section, you can add them, or they can register by themselves in the company. Because everyone will use this, they have to authenticate to make sure they are part of the company. That's the idea, is like to make sure it is like private repo for all the skills.
Yeah. Okay. It looks very sophisticated to me. How long did it take you to build it? How many iterations did you go through to get to this point?
I would say, to be honest, like this was not like super complicated compared to others.
Yeah, I've seen your other product. That one is definitely, I can compare. This one is like a whiteboard.
No, it's still like needed work, but for sure, yeah, it was much easier. But I would say like this took for me like around a month to build it, and also to think about everything. I did like around 3 to 4 iterations. But the idea here was, I need like a place where I can host everything, one place. Even I use it personally, so even if I switch to my personal account and I see the skills, because I use it on my old work.
Oh, you can have multiple
Yeah,
accounts.
like multiple workspaces, and then you can switch. So this is actually how I use it in my personal project. So for example, I use a skill to refactor the code. I use a skill to grill me if I have an idea and I want. This was actually super useful. I suggest to everyone use, like, to actually communicate, to grill you with your ideas, to which actually open your thought process even more, because some ideas you think, if you ask AI what do you think about this idea, probably ask you, great, you're doing great, you are the best in the market. So you need a way to actually something can really tell you like, no, it's bad. Show me how it's good and whatever.
To look more critically. Did you download this? It's not yours, right?
Like some of it
Or is it?
was I use it from GitHub, but I also update it for myself, because as I said, like every time I create the reports to push for it and I improve it. There is also something I use a lot, especially if you're building, you use the AI SDK, which is from Vercel, to build like AI. This is also really good to use it. Brainstorming is really good as well. Like brainstorming and grill me, those are I would say, really, really good to, in the beginning when you ideate, you should use them. If you use Next.js, because I would say most of people use Next.js when they build, especially if you're using AI, I would say this I use a lot to make sure I'm following the best practices. Yeah, for sure. This one, the SEO, because at the end, if you want to go production, and you don't want to spend the money on marketing, so you need to rely on the SEO. You need to validate, to audit always your pages to make sure it's follow the SEO. But for example, this one, now we are creating many projects, so every time I create a project, if I use the normal way with skills, I have to one by one command line install it in my project. Now I just need to copy this in any project I start, and then I have my own ready for me to start the project.
Cool. Yeah, that's pretty convenient. But it looks also, I have to say that it could be looking a little bit daunting and scary for designers.
Yeah. I like the dark theme, but I know maybe not all the designers like the dark theme, but it can be scary. But to be honest, like especially if you want to save money, when you use Claude, Claude is really good. Like I would say, 80% of the time when you use Claude, for me at least, like I don't use skills because it's really good, and I don't want to waste. But however, if I want to use other LLM like GLM or whatever the Chinese one, or even Compose from Cursor, they are really good. And when you give them a skill, they become like almost like Claude. So it's really helpful if you think also how to save your tokens. Like use the skills. Like the like for example, this one, the Zod schema generator. This actually I created. Like this is like specific for my project. This is, yes, I use this Claude because Claude is not trained on how I create the Zod schema. Zod schema is like, it's like a schema. How things written is like a bit technical, but it's and this is why I use it. This was Claude because Claude's not trained on this, something specific, and this is really helpful. And for example, I can show you how the reports look like. So for example, when I use it, so once I prompt, the prompt automatically, if go against the skill, then the report, it will the report. And then at the end of every week, I was like, oh, this good, this bad. And then I can merge this update with the skill. If I want to do that manually, this would be huge. Every time I need to prompt, I need to also update the skill, but maybe I don't need for this case. Maybe I prompt something and then I forgot. So that's manual work. And then if I click generate recommendation, it will automatically take all the feedback and generate a recommendation how I can update the skill. Yes, it's complicated, simple, but
It's pretty cool. It's really useful. It's not just like you didn't just build a product to build a product. I know you did this before. You did your experiment that you got to this point, but this is very useful, and it's actually for free, right?
yeah, it's for free.
Oh, I see.
Because at the end, I'm not using like, yeah, for sure, there's some AI used here, but it's not much. I'm also not using just
Mm,
AI,
nice.
but you also can merge it manually.
And may I ask that the look, although it gives the vibe that it's very technical, and it's like for me, it's like I understand that it's something that is doing something with AI, but it's not like any generic AI looking design or experience. How did you get to this point?
The problem now, like if you asked me this question 2 years ago, I would have like a clear process how I do it. Now it's like literally everything changed quickly, and sometimes, like for example, this specifically this project, how I started at that time, which is not far away, like 3 months, 2 months ago. I was
So
like,
many things has happened. It's like I feel that it's been like 2 years.
yes. I would actually go to, I don't know if you know, Google AI Studio, which is, it was at that time like they have a free account, like it's free. And then I just started, to be honest, because it was really good, especially on also ideating. Just to be honest, everyone to start ideating from that. I mean, now for sure, Claude and everything coming now and things change, but at that time, so I would go there. I have for sure the problem, and I always think about myself as a user. I know this can also, as a designer, like think about, I can be biased by if I am the user, but to be honest, believe in something because I built multiple products before, and the only product success, which I actually use it every day. So I always like, if something I would use it, I'm sure there is many people would use it. If I build something, I didn't use it, then for sure no one else would use it. Yeah, it might be wrong, but I believe in that. Like I believe like if actually it helped me in something, I'm sure it will help other people at the same time. So I started by this problem, like, why every project, this was actually the first thing came to my mind. Why in every project I create, I have to like command line by command line, skill by skill to add. Sometimes I forgot which skill I need to add. This is how I need one place. Yes, you could put in GitHub, but then it's also, as a designer, I want to place quickly. I can go and just type things here, and then like in a nice view, not in the code or anything. And then, as I said, like also I thought about like from the team perspective in my team, it's like how we share skills, how to make sure our thoughts all share between each us, like between each other in the team, not like only one. And this is how I started. And then I just took thoughts in AI Studio to see, okay, what it will create. And then it start like, okay, you know what, this look better, move this here. I need a new feature, can do X, Y, D. And then, how to actually, I was ideating, like, I want to actually to be self-improving, how to do self-improving. Uh, I have the idea, but I don't know how to do it or how it will look like. And then I started from that. And then once I have like something that I think like, okay, this is like has a value, I actually ask AI Studio generate a prompt of detailed prompt based on what I said before and based on this product, and then I take it. And then, like, to be honest with you, one of the most important thing, you need to build your scaffold. Scaffold mean, but this is a bit technical, and I don't want to scare everyone. Yeah, you can take this prompt and then go to Claude or Cursor and then put it there and then use like build it as actually building it, because also AI Studio building only the front end doesn't build the back end. And I also hate to use Superbase wherever because I don't want to be connected to so many payments. I own everything. It's also different from person to person. But building your scaffold is really important. What does that mean? Again, it's a bit technical, but for example, if I know I want to use Next.js, I want to use AI SDK, I want to use Tailwind, I want to use, build this and put it on the side. And every time you want to start a project, take it, and then put the prompt there. It's way easier and much quicker than if you start from zero, because the AI first will read the product, and also for you, understanding the file system, not the code, at least understand how to navigate through the project files is really important. So building this, invest time in building this, would really help in the future to build an actual product, not like a just HTML pages or something connected to whatever. Again, might take time, but it's good to invest in that from my perspective. So I take this prompt, put it in the scaffold, and then start building on top of that because I know now the basics are what I want. The authentication, the better, like everything is built already, and then I build on top of that.
From the beginning, from idea to production, in from the part that a PM could handle, designer or an engineer, which part was that you as designer was working on, but an engineer would have not really considered, or PM would have not considered it, or even other way around?
If you are a designer, you have a superpower because you're in between. You know how to use the stuff, so you're a bit of technical, but also you know how to build the whole experience and how to understand the user needs. And that's where I think PM might miss some stuff, and also the developer will miss some areas. And you connected all. And now with AI, it helped me to actually not 100%, nothing's perfect for sure, but at least to think about the overall end-to-end experience.
With all due respect to to engineers and PMs, it's just that um, I think, yeah, because of the fact that we were always in between, we deal with both sides. Maybe we are more aware of. Maybe I mean you're already familiar with it both side quite deeply, but a designer who hasn't built anything. But they're still familiar. Maybe they haven't dealt with, let's say, a technical part that deep, but they're aware of that. This a high level overview of it. Okay. Mhm.
Is this a question or I got lost?
No, it was
Oh,
just okay. What else I could ask you? What else do you like to explore or go deep?
I just am afraid it will go too much technical and people will get lost. So I'm trying to focus on to actually how to get them started, like the example of how to use AI to get started. I mean, you could use for sure any other tool.
A few
Uh,
questions.
I want to really deliver this message like AI is a tool. Like you should really find your way because to be honest, like when you use Figma, for example, like as a designer, we all use Figma. And because some designers I saw now when I work with them or when I talk to them, they try to find the best way to start. Like, should I start from Claude? Should I start blah blah blah? Should I do this? What does that mean? How to connect it with a Figma? And then I feel they're wasting so much time in trying how to start rather than actually start. And if you yourself like before when we use Figma, uh, even if yes, we all use Figma, but my output or my file organization would be different than my colleague in my team. So everyone will have a way to work. But I feel like designers now afraid to start because they want to find the right way. I was like, there's no right way, just find your way. Same like Figma. Like yes, we all use the same Figma, all use the same system, but if you go to my file, you will see different way I organize the layers or whatever than my colleague working with me in the same team. So it's okay to find your way but not waste your time to actually how to start no start and then because maybe the good thing with AI is smart and learn from us, so maybe you'll actually find a way better than anyone else. So it's okay to
True.
find 5 6 months. Sometimes the hype make people get lost. That's why
Yeah.
but I'm trying to always connect it to a use case. This will help me to do this. If yes, then I try. If not, then I skip.
There's a designer watching us with an idea in mind and haven't done anything for it yet. What do you think they should do to start building?
Don't just waste your time or spending so much time and find okay what's the right way, because when you waste your time in this, believe me, with all the videos on YouTube and Telegram feed with these tools and everything, you'll not find anything. You will get stuck in this loop.
Yeah, there's never ending to that. Since there's every day an update, a new tool, a new something interesting. That you would never be on top of the game in that sense that you're aware of all the products, all the ways to do stuffs, and now I'm gonna start. There would never arrives.
100%.
I know you're working on another project that's actually really huge. Could you give us a glimpse of it, please?
I work on this project these days because I have some thoughts in my mind. The future will be more for agent, which is for sure really using it at the moment, but I wanted to try. Again, I'm trying also to learn about that. So I'm also always try to learn by building. So the idea is simple, it's like how to, build an agent quickly. And what I mean by agent, especially for product team, that's why my focus. Also, if I given a quick advice, like try to focus in the niche market when you build idea, like even if it's a bit generic, narrow down to focus in one group, one niche. I think that can you have more chance of success if you make it full. Like when I want to build an agent, there's maybe building an agent, but no, I want to focus only in the product team. So to narrow down to some specific use cases. Also, as a designer, like all agent now, like you have to start like all the design of pages, like big chat box in the middle, start typing, but it's not fun. And so that's why I was like, how to make it even more fun. And I saw people also on internet, like I got this, ideas or from also people trying to do the same. But for sure, for someone to start, it was really complicated to start. Like, so how to make it even more simple. So yeah, I built this still like, early stage, and it's called Heli. And the idea is like how to build your office. So for example, here, you build your office and your agents, and you can see them working actually. And you also make it more fun, like you have the office dog, you can actually interact with the dog. You
So
can
cool.
share the ideas, like also you can, once you build your agents, you can share it so everyone can see how they work. You can create the agent. The idea is like, all again, back to how to create the agent without any knowledge. Should be simple as like, you can also hire people. For example, here, daily support escalation digest. And even if you go this agent, I try to make it look like in profile. So you can hire this person. So you see what the goal of this agent will do and everything. So you can click hire, and then it will automatically ask you to connect. And once you connect the stuff, you have it ready to work. So in just 2-3 clicks, you have it ready. Or if you also want to hire through chat, so you have a goal in your mind. So for example, this is an example. So you can type your goal. Like I can give a use case as a designer. Every week we have a design critique, and we want to have something that can. Sometimes we don't have something to share. How to keep design critique always running. So the idea is like, why we're not creating an agent, go through like a post hub or Datadog or a Google Analytics, get the information, generate some tasks to improve the design, create a version, share this version with us every week so we can critique it. So to keep the ideation always going. So that's an example. You can also write that here or even put whatever you want, and then it will try to create the agent. And yeah, you only need to do is connect the stuff. For sure, I saw Claude just released the routines before like 2 days, 3 days, something like that. Kind of, I'd say, not similar but close, but it's super complicated to start, and it's also really expensive, and it's only work with Claude. So in this case, you work with any code agent you want.
I'm so excited about this one. I will bring you back again to describe the product deeper. Thanks.
You're welcome.
And to wrap things up, by the end of, let's say, in 12 months, do you think we are standing, especially us designers?
I mean, to be honest, yeah, it's a big question. It's a big thought. Like probably no one knows, but it's really challenging. Like for example, the idea I was showing you I'm building. I started like 3 weeks ago, and 2 days ago, like Claude launches routines. Uh, so I believe the future would be like, yeah, for sure, Claude or ChatGPT will have almost every. It will be like the super apps have everything, like. But I feel like maybe success, as I said before, like, focus, be specific on one use case, and make solve like one user group, like make solution like really good solution. Because I don't think Claude or like ChatGPT will invest in a small use case or niche use case. They will try to always make it generic. So I think maybe that's success in the future. I think we have to really adopt our way of working, and also like from product manager to developer, everyone will try to take more from each other. So I can see now the designer or sorry, developer or even the backend developer try to take more from the front end because they can do it now. They don't need to learn the knowledge. You just need to prompt. One thing we have as a designer, which is really like the creativity part or how to come up with something, how to be innovative. I think we need to focus more in this area. and AI, like when you ask him, give me a design, he gives the same design to you, to X, to Y, and Z. So you need to really improve your creativity and innovation. I think we need to all focus on that more, because we are creative and we should not leave that. That's our actually unique, even better than, I would say, no, let's not same other role, but we have a really unique skill, and no one can replace this skill, which is actually something good for us.
Thank you so much, Will. That was
Thank-
a gift.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for watching. If you're a designer building with AI, you're in the right place. Subscribe for more.